you know, just trying to get heat into the tyres as they go down, you know, the first couple of straights, because that advantage, because it is such a long period for the tyres to fully come up. Until that point, you're almost on eggshells with the car. But once they do come up to temp, the car's got grip, and it becomes a lot like the Radical, where it's all about confidence and throwing the car in to get the most out of it.
Yeah, I definitely learned that the hard way last night and last week, first time in the Radical, and didn't know anything, jumped in, and I'm like, wow, I can push this car so much more. But then on the first lap, I made, you know, 2 mistakes 2 weeks in a row, where I just didn't think about the cold tyres and how cold they would be, and you know, made 2 mistakes in a row, which is quite funny. Well, I can see these cars and these tyres will probably be around the same thing. You know, you don't get that critical lap, which is probably lap 3, maybe 4, and then after that, they probably fall off the cliff, don't they?
Look, I think similar to the Radicals, we haven't seen the guys look to take tyres too much. Every now and again, you'll get a wild horse that's either bolted clear of the field and has the time to get it done, or you know, someone sort of throwing the dice in the mid-pack. But it just seems that because it takes the tyres so long to come up to temp, that 3 or 4 lap advantage means that, you know, any undercut benefit sort of disappears very quickly.
Yep.
And then you also putting yourself back into that, you know, diabolical 3 or 4 lap range where you've got to drive on those eggshells again.
Will these boys take tyres in the pit stops? Like, is that pretty quick for these cars?
Nah, pretty much no one took them last week, I think, at Watkins Glen, maybe a couple of the guys. But again, yeah, look, at the end of the race, I think similar to last night in the Radicals, you know, when the tyres start to go away, that's when the confidence starts to leave the driver, and it's very easy to just overcook something, make a mistake, push it a little bit too hard, and they catch you out. And the problem with these things, they hit something and they break into little itty bitty pieces. So we had
some entertainment then.
Well, I think we've had we had 4 or 5 safety cars at Belle Isle, and we had 4 safety cars last week at Watkins Glen. So it has been bunching the action back up, but just, I think, you know, they're a car of so much confidence, man, so we love driving them, and you tend to push it and keep pushing it because the car just keeps sticking until that cliff and you fall off the side, and that's it, you know.
Well, I think this track is a very hard track to pass, especially in, you know, where my land is the supercar lead. It was a very hard track to pass. There was only probably 2 or 3 spots where you could really get that, and the boys tonight, I really feel like they're going to benefit from the draft the most, so that getting that, you know, really close driving as you would have seen in the past, especially at Watkins Glen, it's a very drafty track. So it's going to be really good for these boys to, you know, get their exits and push. As we can see, the boys lighting the times up now for qualified, and
that's it. Cameron Edwards in the 141.5 at the moment, so he's got about 6 or 7 tenths on Adam Simpson, currently sitting in P2. Michael Whiting in P3. Michael had a very eventful week last week at Watkins Glen. I think that car resembled more a spinning top than a race car, unfortunately, but I know Michael's been pushing hard, and I think what happens again is you start to spin those rear tyres and overheat them, and they lose performance even quicker, and then they're harder to drive.
Definitely. Especially if these cars, you lose a bit of aero and you run off, it's just like, you take a little notch, you lose an end plate at the front, or anything, your downforce is just gone, and it probably is going to stuff with your turning as well, because these are, as you said before, very fragile cars.
Look, nimble, high downforce. They do create quite a bit of aero wash. So as Tyson said, you've got the toe down the big long straights that will definitely, you know, hopefully close the action and get some side-by-side action. But you've also got that worry of, you know, the aero wash under brake, and these cars do rely on quite a bit of front brake, sort of front aero to get the car turned in. So yeah, it's going to be tricky.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to this, and thanks Adam again for opening the door for me and come and have a peek in this side of the racing world, because this would be,
I think maybe he maybe he just needs an extra night to get ready for the Porsches, mate. You know, because
Oh, yeah.
I know he's getting challenged in that Porsche series so far. So I think he's really enjoying it. Don't get me wrong, but I know he's made a mistake or something a week or two back, and he's been trying to redeem himself ever since. So
Yeah, he misses me. I think that's what it is.
Awesome. So at the moment we are about halfway through qualifying. So still Cameron Edwards at the top there. The Send It Sim Sports Machine. Was it Watkins Glen? The Send It Sim Sports brought in a ring-in Corey McFarlane and took 1, 2, 3 of the podium, locked it out completely.
Oh, heck.
So, but these boys have been showing quite a bit of class. I know Cameron is leading the championship. No, sorry, Joseph Daly is leading the championship, his teammate. He's 42 points ahead of Michael Whiting, and Cameron Edwards, our round 1 winner, he is sitting in third, 6 points behind Michael. So
is he in this race? I can't see his name on my timing, Joseph.
Oh, perhaps not. We'll have a look. I can't see Joe Daly in there, no. So our championship leader might be missing tonight. Okay, we do have 2 drop rounds, so that does mean that the ladder will change as they come into play.
There's a great view there of Dean having a nice drift and showing us some of that TikTok lawn mowing skills.
That's it. And I think the blades on the front of these wings are pretty sharp, so they could probably mow a few lawns if you be a bit too adventurous.
But they're probably going to come off a bit second hand after they do that, but it's all about the looks. There's
no grip out there. I've been talking to my nephew's boys today, so it's starting to really think old when you
it's the fence.
Yeah. Oh no. So we've got action aplenty as the boys are pushing hard. I think the one thought, here we go, yep, Adam's
he just ran a little bit wide, clipped that grass, and then around he went and mowing that one.
It's one of those things, and again, I think really the fuel numbers, so it's a fixed series, so when these guys go out qualifying or reset to go back and start again, it's a full tank again, so you got to burn it off. But the thing is, those tyres just means you've got to wait 3 or 4 laps, and then if you're pushing hard and you make a mistake and have to start again, I think from we've seen before, there hasn't been a lot of low fuel running in these cars, in quali at least, because the guys are just pushing the limit, and we've spoken time and time again about the limit being a cliff in these cars, and once you put a toe outside that, you're gone.
Well, last night's a good example of that. I just cruised around the track in the Radical, learnt the track to where I was comfortable, and then on my very last lap, went in, got fuel, didn't get fuel, sorry, and then got tyres and went for a push lap. On my push lap, I was up 0.8, and then I blew the engine in the last corner. So you've got to be also very safe with these guys, because they'll be doing the same, burning the fuel, grab a fresh set of tyres, go out, and then you might get unlucky like I did. So,
well, it's only a 25-minute qualifying session, so you probably estimate the guys would probably get 3 real proper runs at it, maybe 4 if you've been one.
Yep, definitely. It's a long track, 2-minute 40 average by the looks of it, these boys, 41s, so it's a very big lap.
We do have Corey McFarlane with us tonight. Corey was away last week for Watkins Glen, so good to have him back, and he really showed his pace in the first race race number 2 for the series, but the first race he raced with us at Belle Isle and ended up running, a ring in, come in and ran away with it. So, definitely got a reputation in Australian sim sports, so it's great to have Corey on board and great to see him here again. Up into
It should be good
now.
Racing then tonight. Yeah, he's in P2.
Well, Cameron Edwards has been a standout so far in these cars this season. He seems to be the guy that seems to have the most handle on them and getting the pace out of it. So I think at a couple of times some of the other guys have come in and pipped him in just raw out and out pace, but Cameron's still in the top 3 or 4 in each of these qualifying sessions.
At the top of the timetable there with the 141.5 too.
There you go, look at that. So
that's 141.5. 5.19.
That's it. And Cameron has a, what does he have? A 5.3. So, yeah, you're talking a 10th. Well, that's Chef just asking if Cameron's going to jump back into his car and go out there to try and take that back. See what happens. He still has 8 minutes left, so that's enough time to do probably 2 sort of out laps and then try a flyer on your third. Right, well, he's still sitting there. Just flick back to have a quick look. No.
Yep, still sitting there.
Sitting there at the moment. But we will keep an eye on the action. So with Adam Simpson, who has put in a pretty good time, he's done a 1:43.6 and put himself up into third position. Up 42.2 is his time. That has got him in. So I think that was, he set that one fairly earlier. So he's probably on a flop right now.
Yes,
right, so
Blake Delaney's done a 42.240, and then Adam Simpson's done a 42.239. So that, with that gap there, that is just nothing.
Look, it's pretty tight out there numbers at the moment. You know, on the timing board, I think it's almost zeros. Yeah, so you're talking 12 thousandths of a second separating 1 and 2 at the moment. Teammates there. Adam Simpson doing well. Blake Delaney, Michael Whiting only a couple of tenths back behind Blake Delaney. So that's a couple of the fishy boys. And I know that both sort of Blake and Michael have had a couple of incidents at Belle Isle and recovered well. Took advantage of the safety car and got back into it and finished P4 and 5. And I think Blake, I'm not sure if Blake was with us last week. I'd have to check. But, you know, these boys have been racing quite well and up near the pointy end, like we see from these boys in the fishy cars in all series, really.
That's right, the fishy guys are everywhere. Everywhere you look, they're in, which is good to see.
Well, they keep talking about the fishy pond, and I'm pretty sure that pond has rather a lot of streams leading out of it. So... and, you know, the Fishy Motorsports boys were probably streaming tonight as well, so we'll say hi to those out there. And Nathan's put a huge shout out to us. Thanks, buddy. SRW Motorsports, we'll see how the Sinkovich boys can go tonight. I think we've got both Dean and Stephen out there tonight, which is great to see.
Yeah, we should start putting some on the bets of those guys. And who's going to finish in front? Is it going to be Dean?
Well, there is the Sinkovich war, so I think Stephen got him in the F3s last week, or it might have been the Radicals. So, no, it was the V8s on the weekend, I think. Yeah, so bragging rights at the Super Show go to Steve. So we'll see if that fires up Dean. At the moment, Dean has put his F3 in P10. That's just another run. He ran off there at the same time last lap, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's just
trying to get
showing us that TikTok mowing lawn skills he's got.
Well, just trying to get that hairpin sorted where the tree is there.
But yeah, that's a very
cool.
tricky corner. You want to go in there fast and then, you know, really sweep for the long straight. But if you mess it up, as we've seen Dean done twice now, you know, you run off or you just get a really bad exit for the big straight.
I know in the V8 supercar you almost sort of try to take a big chunk of that curve to ensure you on the inside there of the tree. So I don't think you'd want to do it in an F3. I think that wide line you'd probably sweep a bit wider in these cars and really sort of hook through there.
Yeah, and rely on the downforce probably to get that car rotated around and then push on the straight, especially if you're following a car. Like, I think the dirty air in that corner is probably going to play a big part, which is, you know, I'm glad I'm sitting here, not on the track steering, especially for how aggressive I am under brakes.
Just remember that our SRW series this season are travelling across America in our American invasion, all thanks to DSL Welding Services, also the Promo Department safety car. We've seen a bit of it in the F3s the last couple of weeks, so we'll see if the Promo Department safety car gets a nice viewing like it has been. But when it comes to the series, we are traveling across America. So we have two of the series going west to east, and the other series going east to west. So, Tyson, that means that VIR this week is the F3s and the V8 supercars. But you've got this one to look forward to in the radicals coming up, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. And for the supercar boys on the Sunday, it's a great car for a supercar, I think. You know, all those curbs at the back, as we spoke about before, supercars love those. And if you get them right, there's a lot of time.
There is, buddy, but it's very easy to hit that second curb there and lose it and go off into the tyres on the left. I know that from personal experience qualifying the other night. You can see here, yeah, look, going nowhere near the curbs. Cameron, he's staying well off them.
Yep, he's just using them as a guide to turn. He's not really touching them that much, which is great to see. And the speed he caught through there.
Oh, it just stuck. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Nice. Splitter cam. I think this is one of those tracks that's fairly smooth, not as bumpy as the concrete mix of Sebring last night in the radicals. There's a bit of a good history for this track, buddy. It is a track that has actually risen from the dead. So it was born in '57. Carroll Shelby actually won the inaugural race here, and in a Maserati, for all things as well. But then basically it went into financial difficulty and it closed in 73, I think, or 74. 74 it was. It was then purchased in '98 by a vintage racer, Harvey Seigel, who basically renovated it, brought it into the modern world. It's now got 6 configurations, all those modern safety and convenience features, but the original layout is still the main layout, with maybe just a few sort of camber and widening of the track in places. But this is the original layout. That's awesome, buddy.
It's definitely good to see, you know, an old school track like this and have still something very iconic there. Like, for example, the tree. I think that tree's probably been there a very long time, just like the tree at Winton Raceway in Australia. So, you know, we got the tree, as we call it, and then, you know, here it's got a similar kind of feature. So that's pretty cool to see.
Well, I know there used to be a tree on Hell Corner. They removed that, and there was a stump there, and that stump still collected a few people. Hence the name of that corner at Bathurst. But yeah, that tree's gone. But this one's in a good spot here. I mean, you circle on. You wouldn't want to stop under there for too much shade. But oh, there we go.
I think that's his quality done too, with only 15 odd seconds to go.
He was pushing hard there, Cameron. He did manage to take another 10th out of his time, I think, of 41. I know that is still the same margin. He's taken 14,000, so he has taken maybe about 4 or 5 thousandths out of it, but that's how close it is at the top, and shows you what a great lap Corey McFarlane pulled off there.
Yeah, it's a very great, good lap from Corey, as we see a couple of the boys now finishing up. David Coleman into P4, which is good for him, and Blake as well in P3, holding out nice. We see that mid-pack is really tight, so I'm interested to see that battle there.
I think Dave was a bit unlucky last week. He had a big, massive contact that took him out of it, and he was looking good for he was running P1, P2, P3 for pretty much the whole race. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure, you know, Davis really likes these cars. He's shown it. He must like driving them, and showing some pretty good pace out there. So we'll see if he can convert it tonight in the feature, the big race.
We've got 35 laps. Do we know what the tank of fuel is for these boys?
I didn't actually see, but I think we're probably near around about 50 or 60%. And I believe similar to the radicals, I mean, they don't hold a lot of fuel, you know, 60 or 70 litres. They're not big 100 plus litre tanks like the V8s.
It will be interesting to see strategy tonight and who's going to pit early, and like the safety cars, you know, this might be a safety car track, but there's a lot of runoff as well. So.
There is. I think the real problem is going to be partially that runoff, because I think it's hey, that's worth it, buddy. See you shout out there on the stream. Yeah, look, because it's got that runoff, it means, you know, you get it slightly wrong and you could be going on a journey. Look at that!
Knee hopping through, just giving us a nice show there, giving us a wave. Yes, hey David, how you doing, mate? Well done.
I think that's an aeroplane F3.
Yep. He's still going though. He's still got all his tyres. But that's
It was
just
awesome.
a checker flag. So looks like we got a good grid there. I think we got
Oh.
15 drivers.
Looks like 14 or 15 drivers out there tonight. Kagan
And one aeroplane.
and one aeroplane. Yep.
That's right. Oh, and the lawnmower, but we won't mention him until he goes on again.
See if you can throw up our final standings for qualifying tonight there, Toddy.
Yep, and that's all for you.
It's not coming up. That's all right, buddy. But we have Corey McFarlane with Send It Sim Sports in P1 with a 1:41.315. And now all the times have caught on me now, so I won't be able to read the rest of them out. But it's Cameron Edwards in P2, only a 10th back. Blake Delaney and Dave Coleman, the Fishy Motorsports boys, were 8/10ths behind Corey, I think. There we go. So Brett. Michael Whiting, so what's that? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fishes in a row? So is that a school?
Well, if I throw my line out, I'm getting a fish tonight, so...
It's a school of piranhas there. Brett Warby, that's 6, sorry. Yeah, Brett Warby, 6 Fishing Motorsports. So very much fighting in a pack tonight. We've got Nathan Verney in P9, Dean Sikovich in P10. Samuel Thomas in P11, Steven Singovich in P12, Blaine Densley. Blaine showed some great pace last week, just got caught out. I think he might have been in that big incident with Dave Coleman. He's in 13th. Greg Johnson with Team Greg in 14th, and Keegan in 15th. I think we've got Jonathan Hancock is our race controller. So there's the grid, and we should be just about ready to go live.
Yeah, it's going to be a good race. As I said, with this battle of the Sinkovich brothers, I'm definitely going to say go Dean.
Oh, look at all that fishy madness in the middle there. And I know that the boys have said that they race hard, so we could see a bit of piranha action tonight, everyone.
We've got about 20 seconds to go as well, boys. Well, I'm going to point out that those two, the 1-2 cars, they are absolutely beautiful, and they're my 2 favourite cars at the moment. Their paint, the livery, I really like it.
That's right, you are a bit of a livery watcher, aren't you? Here we go, the cars are revving up, so the lights will be coming up any moment now. Getting ready to go live and racing in round 4 of the SRW F3 American Invasion. The lights are coming on. We are ready to go. And looks like a couple of guys have got a wild up. Dave Coleman.
I think he's jumped the start.
That is some madness there at the start. I don't know. That almost looks like it could have been a technical issue. Something like, the accelerator stuck on or something.
I think he jumped the start. Because look at the gaps now. And he made contact. Wow.
Cameron Edwards, he's no fault of him. He's down 10 positions as well. Adam Simpson got caught out then as well. So that is some craziness. So yeah, he's jumped the start and just collected Cameron Edwards. Oh, and then collected Adam Simpson. Poor old Adam Simpson.
Yeah, he jumped it, and then he hesitated, and then he just went, and it's, yeah.
And who was that behind there? That's another Fishy Motorsports car that got caught up in that, was it? Michael Whiting is down 3, Dave Coleman is down 9, Cameron Edwards is down 10, Adam Simpson is down 10.
Yeah, 2 fishies jumped then, but I don't know if the second one will get a penalty there. Yeah. So there was Michael Whiting and David there. It's a bit unfortunate for those boys. You can see he's stuck on the lid.
I'll have to see if we've got a safety car.
I think we've got
up. I think they're all slowing down. It doesn't look like they're pushing hard.
And Peter, you're right. Fish are friends, not food. But if I'm throwing my line in, I'm sorry, they're going to be my food.
Well, Dave Coleman, we'll have to see what happened to Dave there. Can't explain it. I mean, he jumped the start, but it looks like...
Let's see, look, Delaney, you know what Delaney's doing right now? He's serving his jump start. Because he jumped the start. I guarantee you he jumped the start and he's serving his penalty right now.
Blake jumped it as well.
Yeah, he jumped the start as well. There was 2 fishy cars that jumped the start. And one went and the other one went. I think that's what it was.
So they'd be trying to burn off their iRacing one.
That's right. I think that's my guess. I could be wrong because, you know, 9 times out of 10 I'm wrong, but...
Well, we haven't heard anything on race control to whether or not, you know, they had issued any infraction notices to the parties involved, but generally that the race control will wait until after the safety car has gone out before, you know, they'll issue those penalties. Oh, Dylan Thomas, looks like a few guys might have had little jumps there. Oh, it's that... Oh, Dean Singovich just had to brake heavily there. Samuel Thomas caught up with Dean there, so yeah, look.
Yeah, he tried to avoid it and then kind of ran out of grass. Or ran onto the grass.
And I think it was Nathan Burney, was it, that was trying to avoid it too. So, yeah, a bit of chaos there at the start for the boys, and race control chatting with them now and maybe trying to get to the bottom of everything that's gone on. Oh, Nathan Burney spinning under the slow action. I think if it happens there and he wants to get his spot back, I don't know if that works.
Let's wait for a transmission, I think he said, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds like he's lost a few spots under safety car and he wants them back, but we'll keep you posted on if he gets those back or not. But
that's it.
Run safety car. I did say we might not see it, but you know, we didn't even make it to turn 1 and we already seen it, so.
Safety car doesn't look like it's going very fast. These cars would not be liking this pace. The tyres would just start to go cool down.
And they'd be driving up the safety car, giving him a wave saying hurry up.
Well, if you've watched the onboard footage of the safety car, he's actually driving it fairly hard to stay in front of those F1 cars. So it's sort of one of those things. We've got the promo department, McLaren MP4, is it? The P4? But it's looking pretty sharp out there. The promo safety department colours.
I'm not sure. How, can we see those guys who were involved in that incident? Are they back on track? Do they get back to the pit lane?
I can see that. Suddenly looking at SDK, none of them are showing blue, so they're not a lap down.
Well, that's good.
So
yeah, Adam must have had to get the tow. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like 3 of them are back on, and we'll see if they can get onto the back.
So just have a nice restart under the safety car. Perfect.
Adam Simpson's tow is finished and he's come back out, so those guys would all be taking advantage of their fast repair, I would say.
Yeah.
I know we had 2 fast repairs for Belle Isle. I think the standard is 1 in these cars. Perhaps that's been changed. If you guys out there know, maybe you know, Darren Fahey, thanks for tuning in, buddy. Sorry to see you couldn't make it tonight. I know you had a big moment last week, so you would have liked the chance to get back out there again, but hopefully we'll see you next week, buddy.
Corey coming in the pit lane there? Corey McFarlane into pit lane?
Okay. So that's interesting. Alright, so that is interesting, so we'll have to...
So we're just going to have a look at Corey here, see what he's doing. Is he driven straight through? Or is he going to just... No, he's stopping. I saw the cap there, so I thought that was the end of pit lane.
Look, this could be a top-up for fuel.
He might have also taken a fast repair there. But hang on a minute, he just drove straight out of pit lane. I don't think he waited. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because the pit lane should be closed on exit.
Yeah, pit lane's closed until race control announces it's open, so that will be an interesting one. We'll have to see if race control pick that up, because I know Corey's got plenty of pace.
But I don't think race control announced that the pit lane was closed there, so that's going to also be an advantage for him in the back pocket, because it wasn't announced over race control. But that's for them. I'm here to tell you the bad news, and they can deliver the good news. But they are going to review that, so we were right with Lockwood Eyes there, Cowie.
Joe Daly, yeah, have a look at the start of that race, buddy. There was commotion and chaos galore. We don't know what has caused that incident with Dave Coleman and what happened to him, but did jump the start and contact with Cameron Edwards, so and that basically started it, buddy. But
he jumped the start and he kind of hesitated.
Oh, we'll have another look at it for you here. So
that's a good angle.
Oh, there you go. Look at that mess. And that's what happened. And yeah, so it did look like Adam Simpson and it was the other Fishy Motorsports machine of so Blake Delaney and Adam Simpson. I think both got caught up in that. Yeah. So.
And I think you just heard as well, race control. Yeah. Just made that announcement.
Yeah.
So we were right. We good eyes for that because it was weird. Why did he exit the pit lane? Like it was closed, but you know that red light sometimes doesn't show up, and race control didn't give it up. But hey, it's racing. You know, it's in there. It's in the books. Sometimes we forget to read the book before we go, but it is what it is.
That will throw Corey McFarlane right to the back. I mean, I suppose the one saving grace you've probably got in the F3 series so far is they are a fragile car, so when things happen it tends to bring out the safety car. And again, I mean, I suppose it's one of the things that makes these cars great, that they are light and nimble and they can race side by side. They can benefit hugely from the draft.
And another thing with these guys as well, the drive-through penalty for this track, I'm pretty sure it's a smaller pit lane than, you know, your regular track. So it's got a very short pit lane, so you're only going to lose probably 10 seconds maybe. So,
yep.
But yes, it's as we can see as we're about to go green again, safety car's in this lap. Stephen's up to P4, so
keeping it clean, and Steven Sinkovich has managed to avoid all of that mess. I know Dean, he spun trying to avoid things and braked to avoid the other guys that were trying to avoid the mess ahead at the start there. So yep, the safety car is pulling away from the field now, so control has been given to Dylan Thomas, finding himself at the front of the field. I know that Dylan has enjoyed driving these cars and he tends to be near the pointy end in most of the series he's in. Oh, it looks like he's got a really nice big gap. Jump. Yeah, nice little jump. Corey McFarlane serving his drive-through penalty now. I think you're right, that's not going to cost him too much. We've seen Corey's pace, so we might get to see him fighting his way through the field tonight, buddy.
But it's interesting to see he's done his penalty straight off the bat under the safety car, after the safety car, so see if he's allowed to do that or not. But anyway, as we see, it's a good battle on here for Stephen.
Blaine Densley, one of our newcomers, joined us last week for his first race and had quite an eventful race, but has shown that has got some good pace in these cars and was running near the front at times. So another one of those send it simple shorts, boys. But get that sport out.
But P3, oh, you'll be loving this.
Mr. Sigovich, always hold the inside line there. Stephen, one thing about Stephen. Oh, he's gone wide. Is he going to hold it? Both of them. I think they've done well both to hang on to that. Oh, Stephen's gone deep, but got it. No, we'll see how race control deems that, but you know, a little bit of bumping and barging in the V8 supercar is a completely different thing in an F3, buddy.
Yeah, definitely, but it was they both come off okay after that. Not heavy contact, a bit of both, but as you can see,
we are having a look at it now, is it? Oh no, this is further back. Oh, that was the move that Stephen was making then. Sorry, that Blaine's has got past Stephen, then we just missed that or caught most of it. But here's the moment. Okay, sounds like one of the other drivers talking about serving his penalty behind Corey. So maybe Corey got away with something then and one of the other drivers has done it as well. So yeah, there's the move from Blaine. Again, yeah, I think the toe seems to be pretty effective.
Yeah, very powerful. He's locked a brake there, but kept it on track. That's all that matters.
Well, that's it, buddy. You know, got to stay straight. You know, to finish first, first you must finish.
That's
I
right.
think we all see that thing pop up on our iRacing when we load in. Oh, they don't come up on the UI anymore, do they?
I haven't seen them, no.
Like
Yeah,
they used
you're
to,
right.
yeah, like they used to on the website login.
I used to find them very entertaining.
That's it. Yeah, well, I think they were quoting some of the Talladega Nights comments as well in there. So, got to have a sense of humour, I think. Cheeky stuff like that you get away with. Dylan Thomas, 0.7 seconds ahead at the moment. Brett Warby has shown some good pace in these cars as well. So Brett not letting him get away. And these two guys have got a 6-second gap over Cameron Edwards. And
Yeah, with that bump, that little bump back there would have made that gap nice and clean for these guys. And I'm not sure what the toe difference is, but I think it would be like 0.6 of a second would be the toe for these guys.
There's someone in the back there making a move. Is that Corey McFarlane making a move around Dean Sinkovich? Then I think we saw stop in the distance. Quite a few undulations in the elevation of this track, Tyson. Okay, we've got a couple of incidents that Chef Toddy's telling us about, so thanks again to DSL Welding Services.
There's a replay of a great move up the inside.
That's Corey McFarlane making a move on Adam Simpson, I think, there.
Oh, beautiful under brakes, and he pulls it up too with a little lock up, but well done.
Yep. Already trusting the car and getting it up to temp. We are on lap 6, so here we're looking as if Blaine Densley looking to make a move on Blake Delaney. We're back live now, are we, Chef? Looks like we are. Oh, is that Blake just getting the car, rotating half around on him there? It just scares me when I see the rear of the car washed out like that.
Yeah, but so much downforce, it actually worked for the car, and he got a good exit. And then up to these beautiful curbs.
Flicking it through almost to get it straightened up. I mean, they said that was one of the things that sort of set Michael Schumacher apart from the other drivers on the grid, is he seemed to have this ability to flick the car into the corner so that it was pointing straighter before, you know, his opponents, and he effectively, you know, added a metre or two of the corner apex to the straight. And that's what gave him that, you know, great exit speed and top end at the other end.
Yeah, there's some talent to that man, especially, you know, when you're a driver, you got to beat everyone else. You might be able to, in the same car, make the same speed, but you got to push that car that extra little bit, bypass your
Instead it was flicking it out, mate. Oh, there we have. Is that Blaine Densley flying off there? Yeah, just loses the rear.
He was very deep.
I think so.
Yeah, he's definitely deep.
Just lost. Might have been out on the edge of the track there, so it might have been
keeps it off the wall, which is good.
Oh, that's it. But that's going to throw him right back, and as we see little moments like that, it can make it hard for you to recover your race. That Dean Sinkovich sweeping around the outside.
Yeah, that's after the rejoin as well. He's gone to mow his lawn.
He's done it. Oh no.
He's definitely gone to mow the lawn there. Ran very wide after the rejoin of that first incident, as we watched. So he just did unfortunate.
So yeah, so perhaps, you know, not quite as bad as Belle Isle Concrete Jungle. You know, when you make a mistake, you've got a bit of room to get away with it. But still, looks like we had a no further action call there for an incident. Reported to race control. I didn't actually hear which one that was involved. Alright, so we've got Corey McFarlane into the 1:41.29, so that's even faster than his qualifying time. And he's running about a second quicker than the cars in front of him, so he is on a charge.
He's pushing quite hard. He set a purple lap last lap, and got a few cars in front of him where he can benefit from the tow as well. He's in P5, sitting pretty, so let's see if we can push on for this stint.
He certainly can drive
using
these.
All the track there.
Oh. Well, that's right. You know, I'm sure a few people out there in Streamland watching SRW TV tonight would be familiar with Corey's name. He does race in several of the sort of higher profile sim racing series out there, so we are always great to have him on board. Is that Mr. Fish, Michael Whiting? He is running back in P13 at the moment, Pete. There was a big muck up at the start of the race, and Michael and Adam got caught up in that with Dave Coleman jumping the start. So we'll just have to see if there's these cars tricky around here. They're up to 10th now. So
it's got a lot to come back from that as well, as we see Nathan get a black flag there. I'm not sure what that's for.
There's an incident there, perhaps for going through the pits as well, perhaps, like Corey got done, because he said he did pit. Someone said they served a penalty to Corey, but perhaps they pitted as well there, mate. We'll have to see.
Before the penalty was issued, so we'll definitely see what happened there. But as you see, Corey again in the toe, he's going to pull out the toe and go down the inside. He is.
And something's happened to Samuel Thomas, I think, as well. So let's watch this action, and then we'll have a look. Oh, look, that's a nice
pulled that
move.
off nice. You could see the rear of the car like just step out, then the grip was there, and you got the job done.
Dean Sinkovich and Samuel Thomas in the wars again, so those boys are fighting each other, I think. Yep, okay. Thanks, Chef Toddy's bringing up what happened to Sam Thomas. So, chasing hard and just lost the rear, has he? No?
Yeah, you're on.
On exit. Oh, he's done well, though.
Yep, well done. Parked it there. Kept going.
It's not a bad livery either, buddy, eh? Dean Sinkovich trying to cut around the inside of him there. I think Sam just got out of the way, knew he had... There's no point trying to block there with the pace differential that Dean had. All right, and is this another look at the same moment? I know we're back live. Okay,
yeah,
back live with Corey McFall.
So
up to P4 now. Dylan Thomas and Brett Warby. Brett has stayed close to Dylan, and you can see Cameron Edwards also sort of closing in. So Dylan may be starting to feel the heat up in front here, and the pack is starting to breathe down on his neck, buddy.
Yeah, so Cameron's closed that gap now. Remember, it was about 6 seconds a couple of laps ago. Now it's down to 2.8, so he's really pushing, closing that gap. And then we see Brett in P2 is sitting nice 3/10 behind, sitting in the draft. Could be saving fuel. I'm not sure how that works on these cars, but I'm sure everyone can save fuel where they want. And the strategy is like those pit will open soon, definitely, and see some more action. We see Corey sitting right on the tail here.
That's it, buddy. I think, given the prevalence for the F3s to bring out safety cars, thanks for sharing the stream, Pete. That's awesome stuff, buddy. Let's get as many people interested and involved with SRW and all of our great racing, and perhaps we can get these up to 40 or 50 car fields in the F3, which is crazy, but that's ambitious, but they're the numbers. We get big numbers on track, everyone's going to be watching SRW TV.
Well, he's just a little bit wide there on exit, but he got the move done. Corey did, well done.
Yeah, I think Cameron just got caught on the outside there. Is that race control just advising something else? So
we got a safety car now,
he's
boys.
just called a safety car, so something big has happened. What's happened there?
We might try and find out what's happened with that.
Blaine Densley had a big off, but I don't know if that's caused the safety car.
Try and figure that out.
Jonathan Hancock has had a big crash apparently as well. Okay, so Blaine having a little excursion out there. So he's got that away with it. Jonathan Hancock had a big crash. So perhaps that's what... Yep. So let's have a look at that, Chef. Oh, he is the safety car that's crashed. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he is the safety car.
Right, so
Dean's famous corner, but he kept it off the track, so that's good. I mean, he kept it on the track, so it was good.
Chef Potty telling us that several of the guys have all had big run-offs there, so maybe Steven Sinkovich has had a big crash now as well.
I think it might be
Thomas,
Michael Whiting,
Deep.
actually, because Michael Whiting's at the back of the pack, so we might have a look at him.
All right, so maybe this is the reason the safety car has been called. Michael White looking
yep,
just
there it is.
lost it.
Oh. So we're definitely going to check another angle of that, but Michael, wow.
That's one of those crashes that you're happy that it's a virtual crash, because that would have hurt. Oh.
I'm quite curious to see what happened to him there. What part of the track is he on? And then he just seems to have lost it.
That's coming over that
bouncy part.
That's the back straight. Yeah, the back straight before the big left-right, where we've seen Corey McFarlane make a few moves, and that's coming down that straight. Yeah. Oh, front straight. There you go.
Oh, he's got on the grass on the right-hand side, and he's just gone pain. So that's a bit unfortunate there. But we do excuse the tree there. We can't make the trees disappear. But yeah, it looks like he's just ran a bit wide, hit the curb, and then the curb of death straight into the wall. It's a bit unfortunate there.
That could be the end of Michael's night, perhaps, if he's used up the safety car. I'll have to see. Do you guys out there in Facebook and YouTube land know if they've upped the safety, the fast repairs to 1, or is it still at 1, or is it sitting at 2?
I had 1 last night, so that could be a key, but...
Yeah, I know they changed it to 2 for Belle Isle, but I think it's probably back to 1. And that's going to probably put Michael in a bad spot, because he was involved in that incident at the start with Dave Coleman and Adam Simpson. So
that's right.
Yeah, we've had quite a few of the guys have taken advantage to pit under the
someone spinning in the background there under safety car. If we want to check, I'm not sure who that was, but I saw a car spin. So I definitely saw someone spin in the background.
Lane Dinsley and Dean Sinkovich have had a little coming together here.
Look, see there, in the he's just spun by himself.
Who's that at the back? Is that?
And there, a little contact Thomas? There. So he's just catching a group, I think, and then unawares how close he was.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. He's well enough to put them in the wall, though.
And if you see the tyre marks there, that's exactly where Mr. Whiting went around and smashed the fence. So
yeah,
he's very lucky.
Oh, Greg Johnson had a moment earlier there before, so we're just taking advantage of the safety car to have a look at the action that we missed, because there's a fair bit going on. Looks like a bit of grass there, I'd say. Has he kept it out of the wall? He has.
Well, he was. You can see the hill there. How much of the grass and the angle of that? He's just got it off the wall. Slowly rejoins, and this train of cars coming. They get it clear. Oh, that was under safety car.
Yep. Well,
it's a bit unfortunate for him. He's in P2, or is he a lap down?
It puts him back in the chain. He may well get a wave around here. We'll have to see to get sort of brought out of that position that he's in. Currently sit between P1 and 2. Okay, so it looks like there might be a few questions from the guys about serving the drive-through under safety car and not being able to. Or causing another penalty, so...
Yeah, so the discussion for that is he's saying that after we go green, he would like to follow the safety car into pit lane and serve his penalty instead of doing it under yellow. But some people are saying, slash race control, saying it's not fair if they do that. I agree. When I race control, I make sure we get 1 lap of green running before we go, give our penalties out, so everyone's got a nice green. Just makes our job easier, makes the drivers' jobs easier, makes everything even. So, but different leagues, different styles, and of course, different rules. So, but what a crazy 12 laps have had.
But in the end, I think a little bit like the Michael Massey in F1. It's race control's race, so we can comment on it, but we're not here to call it.
That's
we're here
right.
to call the action. So it looks like the promo department car. Well, it's not really streaking ahead, but I would say that this will be the last lap of green running. Have they let? Looks
Yellow
like they
running.
have let Greg Johnson. No, Greg Johnson is in behind Brett at the moment, so it doesn't look like they're going to let Greg get
Now, is Greg a lap down?
clear. Yeah, he is at the moment.
So Greg and Michael, but I don't think Michael's returned to the... No, he has returned to the track, Michael Whiting, I think.
Yeah.
So he must have had his fast repair. Excellent. So good to
Perhaps.
see him back out.
Well, he might have been the car that was at the back of the start there that sort of, got checked up but didn't suffer any real damage. So
That's right.
maybe that's a nice stroke of luck there for Michael. However, he is a lap down, so it's going to be pretty hard from here to get back up the front.
Yeah, that's right. He's probably going to need another safety car. This fuel window is probably getting close to these guys, but I'm not sure who's pitted and taken a lot of fuel or who hasn't. Like a lot of people have shown pit stops on my time at the moment. So
yeah, Dylan Thomas, Corey McFarlane, Cameron Edwards, Blake Delaney all pitting on lap 11. Same with Adam Simpson, Dave Coleman, Blaine Densley. So all of that mid-pack. Brett Warby, our car out in front, he did not pit, not take advantage of the safety car. We'll have to see if that's cost him.
It'll be quite interesting. We've got a lot of mixed guys in this field, and especially in the mid-pack there, it's going to be nice and tight again, so they all look nice and bunched up, and just want to take a chance again for everyone watching the SRW TV. Big shout out to you guys, thanks, and again to our sponsors, we couldn't do it without you guys, so a big thank you to yous.
SL Welding Services and the promo department, great to have them on board. And as Tyson said, guys, if you're loving the streams, give us that like, give us that subscribe, tick that bell notification so you don't miss any of the action here at SRW TV. Thanks, Nathan. One fast repair is the call, so perhaps Michael got away with that then. We'll have to see, but he's right at the back of the field, and him and Greg, Greg is a lap down a bit further up. There's quite a few cars between him and Michael, but safety car is pulling away, so he's not going to get his lap back. He's going to be right in the middle of the mess here. I don't know if Greg will be too happy about this position.
And they've already gone. There we go. We're back to green flag.
Brett Warby just trying to get a nice little jump on the field there. Corey McFarlane has been the big mover so far. He has clawed back after serving a drive-through penalty earlier in the race to now being in P3, battling hard. Look, they're all trying to get inside Greg. He's trying to get out of the way. Who's that that got checked up there? Was that
one of the fishy boys?
Yeah, that might have been Blake Delaney that got checked up then, got caught on the outside. Adam Simpson made through on the inside, so yeah, that was Blake. Dave Coleman fighting back. I didn't see if Dave got a penalty or not, so perhaps they just let the iRacing penalty stand, or he had a technical issue and so race control forgave him. So
yeah, I think he did serve the black flag without the race control giving it to him. He just went in and drove through. So
it would have been an automatic one anyway, because it's iRacing. We still have, if you get a race controllers advised, if you get a black flag issued by iRacing, don't ask to get it removed. You're going to be serving it. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh, look at this move on the outside.
Who's drifting?
Samuel Thomas and Michael Whiting on the outside there.
We had a car off in the background of the tree again. So
Steven Sinkovich back there. We're going to have a bit of a look and see what happened to Stephen or Dean here, and so we're on board with Michael Whiting here. So he's trying to make a move around the outside. So he got caught out there with Samuel Thomas, and that was that Steven Sinkovich going off at the back there, trying to avoid the carnage going on in front of him.
I think he was just showing us off again with his drifting skills, because it was very good. But he's back on track, so.
Here we go. Who's that? That's it. Okay, that's the look there. Yep. So.
Yep, he kept it off the wall. So good on him.
He's done well, Dean, there to look after that car. It's still straight. Nathan Burney was right in the middle of that mess there too. They all tried to bully him and he's come out on top almost. Awesome.
So he's sitting in P9 at the moment. And again, once we cross the control line, we'll see who's finishing where, because there was a lot of carnage on that opening lap there from the safety car restart.
Corey McFarlane has got ahead of Brett Warby, so there's been something's happened, either happened to Brett or Corey's made a move, but we might try and see if we can find that move when it comes up, buddy. Brett Warby has crashed.
Yeah, like I said, Brett's falling down the timetables on my side, so he's gone definitely in the walls. It's going to be contact here.
A little bit of contact, is it? Contact between... Wow. No, so Brett's had an off before that. Brett has had an off before that because Corey McFarlane was in front there, and then he's had a run in with Cameron Edwards. So that's part 2 of Brett's woes there at the start of the race.
Yeah, we might try and get a chopper cam view of that because they'll be right behind that. So here we yeah, he's on the phone already to race control. Tell him this should be a better angle for him.
Alright, so this is that incident there. You can see Cameron sort of swished into him, so yeah. There might be a bit of netcode in that. We'll have to see what race control's got to say. But perhaps, you see Brett had an off track before then. Yeah. Brett was in front of Corey McFarlane. And, oh, look at that. Jeez.
Yeah, so I think he's just taking that left side, the curb, eats the curb, and then comes back on the track, uses the second curb, but the second curb's a lot higher, and he probably a bit unsettled with go there as we saw the result of what happened.
So Brett, and that's going to make it pretty difficult for Brett now because he still needs to pit, and look at Corey McFarlane, already 6 seconds clear out in front, so the carnage behind him.
2 laps later, after the safety car, so that's a big gap already.
Oh, carnage behind him, buddy, and you can just see by the timing, he's done a 41.4. And Dylan Thomas in second has done a 43.4. So, but I'm pretty sure that Dylan had to get out of it. He got caught up in the madness. You know, these guys have all had to tiptoe carefully when there's cars spinning around in front of you on the track.
That's right. But big shout out definitely to Dylan though to avoid all that. And he's up in a P2. I think he started 6th, so it's not a bad drive so far for him.
Sorry, I missed that.
A lot of laps to go.
Oh, that's it. And Shibby just calling out for one of the Sinkoviches. Stephen's got the money in the Sinkovich battle apparently tonight, as far as Shibby's concerned. Oh no. So we speak of the devil and he shows Dean. Oh, just cooking it again.
I think they're just trying to show us something. Like, that's just... I've been saying it all night. They've just been showing us this great skill they have of how to mow the lawn. So, thanks, boys.
It's just a trust thing. I swear, you take it one lap. Oh, the contact there between Dave Coleman and Adam Simpson. That's the second time tonight that they've had contact. And Dave just floating out there, and perhaps that car doesn't look too damaged.
Yeah, I think he was beached on the curb. That's why he had to spin up the tyres just out there.
Right. Yeah, and he's just run out of room. The car's been unsettled. It looks like that Adam come out of that without too much of a hurting car. Though, again, was the steering look a bit stuffed in that car there from Dave Coleman?
Yeah, Dave was trying to limp it home, trying to get it back to pit lane. A bit unfortunate.
Oh, no.
He was in P4 as well, so he's having a good drive.
He's had a pretty eventful night, Dave. We must say these F3s do give us plenty of action. You could be calling one thing, and next minute they get flipped on its head. You know, or Delaney with an off track, was it? Or Nathan Burney with an off track. Sorry, I missed that. Thanks, Chef. Alright, has he just gone deep inside? He's
ran a little bit wide.
Yeah, he's done well. He's lost a little bit of time there, and that might bring Blaine Densley behind him into the action.
And one thing I've noticed with these cars as well if you underdrive the car, you seem to lose the rear a lot, especially in the slower speed corners, which would make a lot of sense. You know, it's relied on downforce and high speed. So these guys, you know, going slow for that sector 1 plus the last sector tend to, you know, rotate that rear off. As we see Nathan
it's had
rotate around.
It's a snap oversteer moment, that one, isn't it?
We're on board, but he's back on track now. Again, lucky this grass there, and off he goes. I don't think he got too much damage from that.
Corey McFarlane now 11 seconds in front, taking all full advantage of the chaos behind him, and he's just setting quality lap times. He's now got under his quality time again with a 41.2.
Yeah, and Dylan's doing a 43.8, so there's definitely a speed difference there, but Dylan's sitting pretty in P2. I'd be still happy with a P2 pushing the guys behind you. It's been a chaotic race so far.
You can see that Dylan's car just washing out there, and Blake getting a run, and now inside the toe. So Blake's going to make a move of this down the end here, I think, buddy. Perhaps not close enough, but
yeah, he's starting to come now. Starting to push.
Right, he's not going to send it on his teammate, I wouldn't think. So they'd probably want to be a bit closer before he makes a move. I know that the fishing boys have said it's all about racing for them, so there's no team orders to, you know, to not race each other or anything. But you know, I'm sure, like every other team, they frown on taking each other out. So you're going to do it, that's fine. You can race clean, boys. You've got to.
No, he's lifting off and saving a bit of fuel, by the sounds of that.
Yeah, but he definitely could have made a move then, I think.
Yeah, nothing better than, you know, if you can't beat the P1 in, you know, on the track, try something else.
Well, Blake Delaney did do a 141.6, so I get the impression he's probably maybe factoring in another safety car, is saying behind there, because Dylan's a couple of seconds off the pace at the moment, and the longer that Blake sits behind him, the further Corey's going to bolt ahead.
Yeah, I think the battle for P1 at the moment's kind of over, so the boys are trying to maybe throw something else with the strategy card, so if they can save a bit of fuel when it comes to pit stop time again, they might be able to jump in with the pits. As you said, they might be a safety car, and then bunches everybody up. Could be the difference.
Our last car that didn't pit during the safety car, Brett Warby, is currently in the pits at the moment. That's going to throw him well back to last on this lead lap. We do have Michael Whiting, Greg Johnson and Dave Coleman behind him. Looks like Dave is probably in the pits. Would have used up his fast repair, so Dave's actually got to fix the car by the sounds of it. Oh, he's
still trying to
get around. Oh, no. Oh God, so that car must not have much in it at all.
It's good to see the effort him trying to get back to pit lane though, but it looks a bit dead.
It's a bit broken, that car, I think.
But the dedication, he's doing a good job though. He's staying off the racing line, not getting in anyway. So good on him.
Yep. Well, he's had an eventful
steering.
night.
It must be his steering.
Yeah, like he can't turn. He's not even attempting to stay on the road. Oh.
But he's on the load again.
It could be engine woes too, and he doesn't want to blow it up. He wants to try and get it back to the pits. But our leader, Corey McFarlane, now 15 seconds in front, goes going faster and faster. As you said, Tyson, I think, you know, he's showing the confidence in the car, and the car's rewarding him. So sending it in the right places gives it that extra bit of grip, makes it fast, and if you're a little bit timid in him, maybe that is what's catching people out in some of those corners. So he's really sending it deep in there, isn't he?
That's right.
Wide.
Using all the grip that's available to maximise everything around the exits. You know, it's a very downforce car. You know, you got to use it. If you don't use all the downforce, you don't get the speed. And you can see always a gap, and especially with myself, and you know, if I went to against Corey's lap time, there'd be a big difference because I'm not used to driving an open wheeled car. I'm used to driving a lazy big supercar. So the difference in speed, because I wouldn't use the grip as much as he would, you know, it's, you know, you can see it through the times through qualifying of the difference, but it's good to see someone using all the track, all the downforce, all the setup, because it's fixed, and, you know, get the results.
Oh, we have another safety car called, so something's happened. Blake Delaney had a big off and back on, but
I'll make note, Corey has just driven past the front straight, so that means the boys behind with that 15-second gap, they might pit, so we might have to keep an eye on those guys because Dylan and Adam,
hasn't come
and guess
out.
who-
Yeah.
Adam's in pit lane right now, so Adam's in pit lane, so this is big difference here. So all the boys behind, if I was them, I'd be pitting because it's basically a free pit stop because Corey McFarlane and they're in the pit lane because it's a free pit stop. Corey's gone, these guys can take fuel, and once the safety car comes out, well, he's stuck behind the safety car.
Well, it'll be interesting because I think.
Oh no, actually, I'm going to take that back. They're going to be balked by the safety car. Nope, the safety. Oh no!
That was Blaine intensely. Adam Simpson in the wars again.
We need to get a replay of that, but
that's Brett Warby and Adam Simpson, I think, and those boys have had some run-ins tonight. Is this another one?
That's going to come down to the safety car.
So yeah, so the safety car's there waiting, and he's got him behind it. And Blaine, no! And, yeah. Oh wow!
I don't want to laugh at that, but
oh no!
Wow! As
That
we're going to
is
go on board with the
unfortunate.
car, and this is his.
Oh wow! Blaine,
Wow.
what's he doing here? Parking the car by the looks of it.
Yeah, parking it behind the safety fence there, unlucky.
Oh no.
So Adams, yeah, he's done exactly what I would have done. Pitted, got that out, and then all of a sudden the safety car has caught him unawares, and these guys are like, what, can I pass yet? And he doesn't know, bang.
Who's that? Is that Michael Whiting that came flying into the rear there? And Blaine Densley, yeah, there's not much left of that car now.
The mistake there, I think, was the safety car was a bit confusing people. People didn't know what was going on, and, you know, he's lost his bum.
Like, Blake Delaney was the one that got into the back there, so Blake's car would be looking fairly wounded. We have got carnage tonight at SRW at VIR, the Virginia International Raceway.
I said I was going to turn it on, but wow.
Plenty of action, mate.
There is plenty of action. It's great to see, but a bit of carnage, and again, I hope those boys can get out on track again after that little.
Well, that's going to be the issue. We had a 14-car field. I don't know how many of them are going to be still running after that moment.
Yeah, well, we got 9 cars on my timing at the moment on the lead lap, so it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens under this safety car. But yeah, Corey is back out in front, and Nathan is now in P2.
I think race control was getting the safety car ready to come out, and being sitting there, the other guys thought they had to sit in behind it, and he's told them no to go through. But by that, people had slowed down and created the hazard, and Blake Delaney's come flying over had no time to react.
Well, that's right. So the safety car was called exactly the time that Corey passed the pits. So all the boys who went into pit lane for were P2, 3, 4, blah, 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 they went in. And then they caught the safety car on the exit of pit lane because the safety car was still waiting for the leader, but didn't realise that Corey's already gone past. And as we saw, the boys did the right thing. They saw the safety car and they went, oh, hang on a minute, I've got to wait because there's no green light on the safety car.
Yeah,
so there's a bit of miscommunication from everybody at hand, but again, we can't have all the tools and gadgets, which is a bit, unfortunate. Hopefully iRacing, if you're listening, will give us that one day for us to drive our own safety car with some flashy lights. That'd be pretty cool. But
well, I mean, the other thing with it too, as you said, it's unpredictable, and when we're going to see probably a fair bit of discussion on the Discord boards tonight, and perhaps a clarification of the rule. I mean, that's, I suppose, the good outcome of these sort of things is when you do analyse what happened, and we're not trying to blame anyone, we're trying to stop it from happening again. So
that's right. You won't know there's a problem unless it happens.
Crazy there, Pete. Your expletive I will not repeat it on the air there, buddy, but I think it pretty much sums up the craziness we've seen tonight so far in the SRW American Invasion F3 style. Wow, invasion.
But I'm gonna say that was a bit of net code there. I don't see there was contact under that yellow flag there. So.
Wow.
But again, thanks for tuning in, guys. I think we've got 20 minutes left of racing, green flag racing, but there is still 14 laps to go. Yeah. So it's going to be action packed, and as we just saw, if that wasn't action packed, well then.
Yeah,
there's just action everywhere.
We just got Chef Tony complaining behind the scenes that there was too much action for the system to keep up. I think we're a bit gobsmacked with everything that's happened so far, but I must admit it is going to give us some great talking points, and I suppose in the armchair athlete seat, we don't mind seeing a little bit of carnage out there because it is pretty exciting.
That's right, and as I said before, well, there's the thing.
Okay, so it looks like there's someone maybe towed without permission and has been told they can't enter, and now they can, so we'll see. But, yeah, look, it's certainly been round one. We did see, I don't think we saw the safety car across any of the racing, right, in round one. Belle Isle round two for the F3s, it just opened the floodgates. Now, the promo safety department is certainly getting its promotional money's worth over the last few rounds with the F3s. 6 safety cars, 5 safety cars at Belle Isle, 4 safety cars at Watkins Glen, and what we're now on, safety car 3.
Yeah, I think so. Well, while we're under the safety guard, let's go down the grid and just remind everybody who's what and when, and because we've had a lot of, like as you said, carnage. There's been cars going off everywhere, and we've really lost track of what's going on because it's everywhere. Action.
All right, we have Corey McFarlane, the Sendit Sim Sports machine, in first position. Nathan Verney in second position. Looks like that might be Michael Whiting that's caught in the middle there. And race control, I think, is only allowing, reading the rule book, that it's only if you're between race control and, the safety car and the leader, will you get the wave around. So that'd be why Michael's not getting a wave around there. Nathan Verney, so far staying out of the mess. We saw Nathan have a couple of little excursions, but the car's still straight. Looks like he's avoided any damage, and he's sitting P2. Dylan Thomas in P3. Dylan was leading the race there for a bit, and Corey, I think Dylan had a little mistake, and then Corey's jumped back through. Adam Simpson, well, Adam has been in the wars tonight. I'm hoping that car is still straight enough to drive, but he's definitely, I don't think any fault of his own, mate. He's copped it from left, right and centre. Cameron Edwards in P5. Cameron getting involved in a big incident there, but looks like he's been able to take advantage of the fast repair and get back going. We have Samuel Thomas in P6. Sam has also had a few moments, but that car looks clean. Steven Sinkovich in P7 and Blaine Densley in P8. That are the last cars on the lead lap. So Michael Whiting, Blake Delaney, Dean Sinkovich, Greg Johnston, Dave Coleman, Brett Warby, all a lap down.
Yeah, so it's good to see a lot of the cars still on track. A couple out of the mix, but we're about to go green again. And
I'd say Brett is in the pit there trying to maybe do a meatball repair, I would think. So, but good to see him still sitting there, so he'll probably jump back out as soon as he can. I don't know if that car will be quite friendly to drive if you've got to wait for a required repair and still have optionals. Guys, what awesome action tonight. It's just been crazy here at SRW TV. The F3s, well, they live up to the F part of that name, don't they?
Yep, and that's fast.
I did have another word in Thompson, but I thought you handled that rather nicely there, buddy.
Yes, Fast Furious. We'll go FF, Fast and Furious, because that's what's been seen tonight. And hopefully it's a clean restart. And see Corey get away nicely. He's already built a little bit of a gap, trying to break that toe.
And watch out, the Fast and the Furious trademark gods don't come down on you for that comment, buddy. But yes.
If you look on the side, we've got Hobbs, and then, big shout out to Luke Hobbs, from Fast and Furious, winky face.
There you go, okay. They covered it twice, alright, awesome.
Apologies, Corey, using your sponsor. But,
oh, look at the movement here in the this is Cameron Edwards trying to make a move on Adam Simpson, darting around. That's Blake Delaney in the caught in amongst that too, so trying to maybe give his teammate a bit of a toe through here. Cameron Edwards, Adam Simpson and Dylan Thomas, in front, so this is all for position. Blake Delaney has quickly got out of the way of the leading pack. Oh, is that Cameron? That's Adam trying to make a move around the outside of Dylan. Going down the main straight, coming in up over the hill into the big the switch to the left and then the big right-hander. Oh, that's where we saw Cameron bounce out there. Yeah, no, they've done well, both those boys. Quite respectful. Cameron Edwards waiting in the wings here. He maybe smells some bite in the water with the piranhas in front, buddy.
Oh, he's ran wide.
There we go. Dylan Thomas has run wide. And Cameron Edwards looking to take advantage of that too, as Adam Simpson's had to get out of it a little bit as he watched his teammate go off into the weeds.
So I hear on the radio too that Dean will have to return to pit lane, which is a bit unfortunate.
Oh. Okay, so there's been quite a few things happening behind the scenes with race control, all that, guys. I mean, it has been chaos. We barely stayed on top of the action, and we expect race control to try and stay on top of all of this. So sometimes it does take a bit of time to review situations, and yourself, Tyson, being in race control, you'd be reviewing one thing and something else happens, and you've just got to say, yeah, we'll look at that soon.
That's right. You've got to be taking notes. What's going down? This happened. This happened. This happened. Sometimes you have 5 incidents to look at before you get to the first one, and so it's good fun. But again, sometimes it can be chaotic when you have 6. But if you have a good bunch of blokes, it's relatively easy. But of course, you go to Belle Isle, and then you're like, I'm going to need 6 or 7 different race controllers because we're going to have a busy night.
Look, we are all, racers at heart, sim racers or real life racers that are racing virtual as well, but we're all racers at heart, so we do tend to wear our hearts on our sleeves. And I know there's been sort of several times that I've, been involved in an altercation, jumped on the radio, and then when you look back at it afterwards, you go, okay, yeah, maybe I didn't give him enough room, or blah, 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 and you end up being your own worst enemy. But in the heat of the moment, it's a completely different factor when you're wheel-to-wheel racing at, 250 plus clicks an hour.
And we see the top 3 now, 5.9 second gap. For the top 3, these boys are going to be definitely battling for this P2, as we can see again, Corey making a nice gap.
Nathan Murney has sort of run a bit of a silent assassin tonight and has taken advantage of the safety cars.
Yeah, he's up 7 spots, so that's good to see. He's only done 1 pit stop at the moment, so we'll see if he makes it to the end.
Well, Cameron has tyres that are probably 8 laps fresher, and now that we've had a lap or 2 under green, I think Nathan's just decided he can't hold him off there. Plot him behind and maybe try and save some fuel, or run in the tow and maybe run with him. So, but that's that draft advantage. He just realised he had no chance. So,
yeah, no point sitting there holding him up. He just, let him go, and you might be able to save some fuel sitting behind too, because he seems a little bit off the pace at the moment, and he's definitely dropped back a bit. So I'm not sure if he's made a mistake after that, but as we see the
Blake Delaney behind, so that's actually not for position there. So
I
think Blake's just taking advantage of the tow from his teammate, and perhaps even maybe come through and see if he can give the tow back. Nah, he's just... Oh yes, he has gone through on Adam, so... Oh, so what
Says
happened?
Adam just disappeared.
just teleported around the corner there. So,
Well,
yes, SRW, we do have Star Trek technology here tonight. No?
well, we've seen it all tonight, haven't we? We've seen some mowing of the lawn. We've seen a guy just been destroyed under the safety car, and now we've seen a bit of teleportation.
Oh, I was
That's right.
going to say, you could normally say it all started when the race started, but it actually didn't. It started before the race started.
It did,
Because Dave jumped the start. So there you go.
A bit crazy from the literal get-go. As soon as it wasn't even green flag, but
That's right. Might have been at
everything
4
going
lights
on.
or 3 lights. It sort of reminds me of one of the Formula One Grand Prix a while back. So the teams had actually worked out that there was only about 3 or 4 patterns of the way the lights used to power up, right? And if you picked the right one, you could actually time it. So what they were doing was they were sending a little electronic bip in the radio to the drivers a split second before, so that their reaction times would be almost perfect. Right? Now the FIA found out about this. Instead of telling the teams, no, that's not allowed, what they did is they changed the light sequence without telling the teams, and then watched about 6 or 7 cars jump the start.
That is quite smart.
That was brilliant, brilliant. So they worked out which ones were cheating. I don't know if I'm pretty sure some penalties came out over that, but I suppose at that elite level, you can't necessarily call it cheating. It's exploiting every ounce and millimetre of the rules, isn't it?
Well, you give them an inch, they take a mile. So
That's right, buddy. I think Ferrari.
that was 3 wide. We see
Sort of guys going into pits there as well, and perhaps this has needed to be a 2-stop pit race.
Well, that's right. So
to see those guys that had pitted on lap 12 and that have had to come in now. So
Adam's come in as well.
Yeah.
Well, he's just leaving pit lane. But yeah, those guys who were pushing hard, maybe relying a bit more under safety car, just taking their splashes now to get home. And those boys who's pitted in that middle bit of the races, as you can see, Dylan there and
Blake lighting the car up there, so I'll slide it around. But also, I mean, perhaps these guys think that the safety car train isn't over yet. We have only got 8 laps remaining.
Yep, and 9.5 minutes to go.
I'm a bit surprised that a couple of them didn't take more advantage of the pitting while the safety car was there, but
well, I can hear engine saving. I'm not sure who it is, but I did, and it must be Cameron, because look at the difference in speed. The engine definitely went out then. So we're definitely hearing engine change, like everyone's getting on the clutch, saving that fuel.
Right. And this is Dylan Thomas, who's pitted a lap later and looks like he is really pushing hard. So yeah, Cameron might be just running a bit lean there.
So the gap between those boys, it's pretty big, but especially if Corey's got to save as well.
I think that was Blake Delaney coming through on Cameron, it was. So Blake's on a bit of a charge trying to get his lap back. And Cameron's, just saving some little gulps of fuel where he can.
He's got 9 seconds the gap, so he's got plenty of air, but it's just how much can he save, and is it going to get him home? Because you don't want to take that gamble with 0.8 on the last lap, because that's a lot to save.
Yes.
But are we going to go time certain, or are we going to finish? That's the next question these boys are going to gamble on.
Well, that's fair enough, because normally you would say that we generally put enough time in to allow the races to go lap certain, but we've got 7 laps remaining and only about 7 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, so we're probably going to miss 1 lap. I think we're going to be 1 lap short.
Perhaps 2, buddy. Okay, looks like something's happened. Dean's just advertising he's had an incident, or he's leaving the pits now.
Yeah, so there was a bit of a commotion about if he towed with permission or without permission, so he had to return the pit lane. I think he's got that cleared up and he's returned to the track, so good to see Dean back out there.
Yep, fair enough. So again, we've got you must ask race control, get permission to tow back to the pits. So the idea is to try and keep it as realistic out on out on the track as we can, and if you binge your car or you stay there until race control lets you, and they'll decide, you know, if it's in a dangerous position for the safety car to come out. We do have a sort of a policy to say that, you know, it's only going to be if it's in the middle of the track in a dangerous position and can't get going, would be the only reason they would call the safety car out inside the last 5 laps. So you generally will see the permission to tow granted a lot quicker near the end of the race, just to try and keep it clean running. So it looks like Cameron is coming in.
Yep, so I was right. He was saving fuel, and it looks like he's not going to make it. So he's taking. Yeah. He's going to take his splash now, get it over and done with. Guarantee him, you know, at least a podium. Unless he's got to battle Nathan on the way out.
And wasn't stationary very long there, so yeah, he's run the numbers and thought, nah, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, so Nathan's grabbed him. Adam's coming through now, so I don't know if Adam's going to grab him as well, but looks like the gap's big enough.
It's going to give us a battle for P3, I'd say.
Yep.
Because Cameron has had good pace. He did make a move on Nathan Verney earlier in the race, and we know that he is definitely quick in these cars, and yeah, so it's on. And look, this might be a nice 4-car battle for the final spot on the podium, buddy. It looks like Corey and Dylan are clear at the moment.
Yeah, so I think Dylan might be in the same boat. He's only pitted twice, but you know, it depends what lap he pitted on. I'm not sure what lap he pitted on, because there's so much action. We actually haven't seen much green flag pitting, but I think he pitted under that yellow, the last yellow, so he's probably safe.
Possibly, but then again, we've seen that Cameron pitted on lap 20 and had to come in. So the guys on lap 21, perhaps this tank doesn't hold 16 or 17 litres, man. We saw in the V8 supercars, it was more like about 14.
And we see the leaders in pit lane right now, so this is even more juice to see where he comes out. So he has to take a splash as well.
Wow.
And there's only 5 odd minutes to go, so he's in pit lane. Is there going to be a change for a lead? He did have a nice gap. He's taken it now, and he's on pit exit.
Okay, so that does sort of explain a little bit more the reason we saw some of the guys not bother pitting under that second safety car or third safety car, because they just realised their fuel numbers meant that they would still have to pit again.
That's right.
And so why pit twice?
He's definitely kept that lead, so he built a nice gap, and it's down to 8 seconds now, so he only had to take a splash. And as I said before, it's a very short pit lane, so it didn't affect him too much.
Yeah, so he was only stationary for 3.97 seconds, and the total pit lane transit time was, what, 24 seconds. So you're right, yeah. So maybe probably 10, maybe 8. The gap was, I think it was near 28 seconds, 30 seconds, was it?
Yeah,
and
about 30 seconds.
At 9, so yeah, so it probably cost him about 20 seconds all up.
So yeah, he did a good job there, and I don't think he took enough under the safety car, because I did remember we had that confusion, we had that big crash, and a few of those boys did pit, but again, some of the other boys didn't. So
I think they probably just couldn't put enough fuel in the car. You know, the critical lap was probably going to be 22 or 23, and all of them pitted on 20 and 21. So, yeah, there you go. But you see Cameron Edwards right back onto the back of Nathan Verney now, so Cameron showing some great pace in the F3 car. Definitely seems to be the car of his choice here at SRW. I don't remember racing against Cameron in the V8s or seeing him in the V8 Super Show, so...
But a nice drive now. He
here.
Just pulls out and he's going to go the long way around.
No, just thinks better of it there.
Yeah, it's a tough corner to pass, that is.
I think when you're braking uphill, you know, and then you've sort of, when you get to the crest of the hill, that's when you're sort of feathering the brake, you're modulating it heavily, trying to get the car from floating, and we've already seen a few of the guys float over the top there, not able to arrest enough speed and go sliding off the other side. That's
right, yes. And it sounded like a few of those cars were topping out as we see a bit of smoke up ahead. Hope no one's gone off.
Maybe a big lock up. Well, we've had Dean Sinkovich has had a big crash, so we might try and have a look and see what happened to Dean in the wars tonight. Already a lap down back in P13.
Is he at his famous tree?
Oh yeah, he's just lost the rear at the tree. Yeah.
He didn't mow the grass this time, so... Oh, is he going to do it? There he goes.
Oh, Blake Delaney and Samuel Thomas, something that's happened up the... Blaine Densley, sorry. That's all right. reading it. Let's have a look and see what's happened. So, is this a moment between the two boys again? So, oh, is that Blaine that's raced through, has he?
Oh, so that might have been the spin I saw earlier.
Yep, so that was Blaine. So, Adam Simpson has gone through and Blaine's just rotated it. And then Samuel Thomas, is this more of the same? He's just lost the rear of the car again.
Yes, Densley's gone into pit lane now from P6.
Oh.
He's into P7.
Okay, yep.
Oh, no. You spoke too soon. He just avoided it and then bang.
And that is probably the end of Sam Thomas's night. That may well cost Blaine a penalty there for not holding his brakes. But you can see he was just trying to get out of the way. But Sam was already committed to going around the outside, so...
Yeah, he should have probably stayed in the position he was, but he decided to move out. Not sure if those boys are still there as we see a pass for position.
It was when Adam went through. So this would be Blaine's spin, yeah, we've seen this.
Yep.
This was his spin, and then... So he's come through here. He's had has he had another little off here, has he? But this is all... Oh, yeah, that's it there, so yeah. He's seen the car
so
going around the
unfortunate.
outside. Oh, we're going to have lots of talking points from tonight's racing, I'm sure. I can already hear my ears burning from just reading the text that'll be in the Discord chat. And perhaps we might end up with a few rules clarifications out of tonight too, because it's certainly been action-packed, perhaps for some of the wrong reasons, but it's exciting.
That's right, it's good entertainment for us. You know, a bit unfortunate for the drivers, but you know, as a driver myself, you know, I love sitting back and watching everyone else, you know, do what I used to.
Well, the thing is also, you know, when if you get involved in something and then you're behind, you know, the last thing you want to do is wreck someone else's race. And there's been a couple of occasions where you've just, you know, had no chance to react, which is, you know.
It's also a bit hard for some of these guys who don't have spotters, and you know, that could tell them, hey, there's a car coming, hold your position. But you know, that's the world of iRacing. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't.
Well, sometimes crew chief Jim is a bit late on the call there, but the great app that we use. So is that the fishing boys just getting out of the way there?
Cameron saving some fuel.
Yep.
But he's in the P3, so he's saving fuel. So he's just dropped a bit. Oh, no, he's down to P4 now. Sorry, Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan Thomas. Yep. So, but
he is a gambler with fuel though. He loves to gamble his fuel numbers.
Well, lap 21 was when he pitted, so I think he's decided he's going to try and see if he could hold out and run as long as he could without doing that splash that everyone else has gone. But we've seen the splash happen, and then these guys have come out and are now lapping quicker than him. So maybe that splash and dash was the way to go, buddy, by the looks of it.
So he's also last lap was a 47 compared to Nathan, and Cameron he did 42s. So he's a bit off the pace.
That's right. I think they're just letting them by. I think we have now only got about 5 or 6 cars on the lead lap. Like Steven Sinkovich up 6 positions in P6, and he is the last car on the lead lap. So it has been carnage tonight, and exciting to boot.
Well, I'm just going to apologise now to Dean and say I'm sorry for the commentator's curse. I said you were going to be the better one tonight, and you know, it's just it was my fault.
It's been Steven's week, so Steven he got the call on Sunday. He picked up the Sinkovich trophy on Sunday, and it's looked like he's hanging on to it this week.
Yeah,
so there's some good bragging rights. I know if I had my brother out there, I'd be fighting. So it looks like we have finished a lap early, guys. So looks like the front runners have gone across the line, and we've been chatting away and missed it completely. So Corey McFarlane with Sendit Sim Sports has taken home the win once again. His second race in the F3 to SRW and 2 wins.
Yes, very well done to Corey. Get him on the podium, and Dylan, I think he got there as well. So well done to Dylan.
Second, yep. So Dylan Thomas finishing third as well with his strategy of running the longer fuel and not splashing, and ended up 11 seconds in front of Nathan Verney. So he
Well,
timed it
Nathan
perfectly, didn't he?
did a good race today. You know, he's up 5 spots in the P4, so he'd be probably pretty happy with that, especially after all the chaos we've had.
Yeah, Nathan had a podium last week and got to have a chat to us, and so, you know, but again, he sort of feels that he's still not fully to grips with these cars. You know, it seems to be so easy that you can make just a little mistake and that throws the rear of the car around on you. So, but yeah, look, exciting stuff tonight, Tyson. Great to have you with us, mate. What do you think of your first F3 race, first RW?
I might have to change shifts in a minute because this was action-packed. Like, I enjoyed it. It was awesome. Couldn't stop talking, and I really enjoyed the call with you, Cowie. So thanks for having me, man.
Oh, awesome, mate. No, great to have you with us. And we know that Hughesy out there, you know, with his things going on, buddy. But, you know, maybe you might have to watch in the wins, buddy, because Tyson's hasn't done a bad call here, buddy. All right, so there we have the results of tonight's race up on the screen. Corey McFarlane, our winner, 14 seconds ahead of Cameron Edwards of Senate Sim Sports. Both those boys' teammates running well. Dylan Thomas in third position. Dylan had a pretty good race tonight, and he's kept the car clean, managed to somehow avoid getting taken out, and has brought it home in P3 with a bit of fuel saving at the end there. Probably the only car that decided to not do that splash at the end there and run it long, and it's worked for him. Nathan Verney in fourth position, Locked On Racing. Adam Simpson in P5. To Adam, that was a crazy race. I think if we watched the replay just from your car, we would get most of the action that happened tonight. It just seemed you were a magnet for it, buddy. And so P5 on your part, that's a pretty good result considering all the carnage going on around you. And Steven Sinkovich, Team SRW, has got it into P6. So he's managed to stay out of trouble. We watched his brother Dean driving a top for a bit tonight, but Stephen has stayed out of the mess and brought it home. Awesome work. And then we were talking a lap back to the Fishy Motorsports boys of Blake Delaney and Michael Whiting. Greg Johnson, I think Greg got caught out by that first safety car, Tyson, didn't he? And that sort of threw him a lap down. So Greg probably a bit unlucky. He could have been racing up there battling with Stephen, I think, for P6. Blaine Densley, well, that was a massive moment that Blaine had there at the end. Nowhere to go with the spin. From who was that? Was from Sam Thomas, I think, wasn't it? But look, it's been crazy. And then Dave Coleman in 11th, Samuel Thomas in 12th, Dean Sinkovic in 13th, and Brett Warby in 14th. Another eventful night for Brett after was it a win or a P2 last week? I think it was. So
that's right. We got a few boys up in the green room as well. So let's
bring them all in and have a chat to them, eh? Awesome. So Cameron and Dylan, welcome to the broadcast room. Wow, what an eventful race, Cameron. You were right in the thick of it, buddy.
That, oh my God. Yeah, I don't know what it is with this series, but I keep making contact with the Fishy guys, and it's almost like each week I'm just going to have to keep flying the white flag and saying sorry. I can't catch a break. I don't get it.
Well, the Fishy boys are everywhere.
There's like 6 of them out there, man. So, you know, they're all piranhas. We know that. But, you know, I think Dylan, mate, fuel saving at the end there, Dylan, got you home, did it?
Yeah, a bit of fuel save under the safety car. Every safety car, I was just on the clutch the whole way around. And I thought I was going to have to splash at the end, and then I had about a litre in hand, even if it went full distance. So
awesome.
Sort of lucked out with this race, really.
Yeah, I was tipping you to do another stop, especially after that safety car chaos. I was definitely tipping you to do another splash at the end because we saw Corey in front do it, so I thought you were going to follow suit. But no, good on you for getting home in P3.
Yeah, that was one of the toughest ones we've done.
Well, it's been a bit crazy, the F3s. It's like Belle Isle opened the floodgates of safety cars. So I'm going to bring Corey down into the room, see that Corey's just jumped into the green room, so we'll bring him down here to this discussion. Corey, did the safety cars open when you joined at Belle Isle, mate? We didn't see one for round one. It's been sort of a fixture since you've joined us, buddy.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to me not paying attention at all, and yeah,
Look, there was some crazy shenanigans going on there tonight. It started even before the green flag dropped, so there was lots of chaos. But Corey, just had to fight your way through from the back there, buddy. But you seem to have a good handle on these cars, mate.
yeah, I wasn't sure what happened at the start there. I was very confused and still am, but
So we watched it, and it was the same for us. But what I seem to see is that you seem to be able to get the tyres up to temp in these cars, and it seems to be a car that you've really got to trust to get the performance out of it. So if you're a little bit timid driving it, that's when you bring, the woes upon yourself.
yeah, it's one of those cars, especially I found on this setup compared to the one we used at Detroit. Pretty sure they're different, but yeah, you got to keep it really balanced. Sort of when trail braking at high speed, it's definitely not easy, and tyres just seem to lock pretty easily under brakes, and then turning it in after doing that, definitely just sort of let go at a point, and
Taking tyres in that first safety car at all? Was it the first one or the second one? We saw you come in there. Were you just sort of topping up the fuel, or did you go for tyres as well?
Nah, never usually take tyres in these ever, so just all the stops were just for fuel, and
try and get those numbers down. You just sort of were a couple of laps short there at the end, had to come in for a splash, but you'd built up enough of a buffer to, have no worries with that, buddy.
Yeah, I wasn't really too sure what the go with fuel strategy was in that, but it was just just keep going until you run out of fuel, and then safety car comes and hit it.
That's it. Well, it certainly seemed that, there's quite a bit of chaos out there around everyone, but mate, you've made it through, so that's 2 races with SRW and 2 wins, buddy. Just taking it by the storm, and go for it. Let us know who's supporting you, and who's giving you all the love out there, buddy.
Yeah, big thanks to Sim Sports, all the boys there. Unlucky to Cam as well off the start line to get involved in that. No fault of his own. It's just really unlucky to see that happen, and confusing as well at the same time. But congrats to him coming back as well to P2. So incredible job to him. And I think it was Blaine was also in here tonight. So well done for him.
That's right. It was good racing, boys, and it was very entertaining. But my question for you, Corey, with that first pit stop on lap 1, what was your reason for going to the pit lane?
I don't really have much reasoning behind half the stuff I do. I just I don't know.
Change it up a bit.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what the go was. So, and then didn't hear a call about closed pit lane, and obviously it's a rule, and I've just
Yeah, I was agreeing with you there. There was no call for it, but it's in the book, and if the book's there, we got to obey it, or it's going to hit us in the face. But you crawled back from it, bro. So big congratulations. Well done, you win, man, and good drive.
Thanks.
Cameron, he just had a bit too much pace tonight. Corey's pretty fast in these machines, mate. You're going to put some, tie some bricks to the back of that car, slow him down a bit.
Trying to figure out a way to slingshot onto the back of him so he can just drag me along and keep it close. I was actually loving that qualifying battle because unfortunately, usual story, I was up a couple of tenths early on and then dropped it in the second sector, so we'll pretty much matching times tonight, which is the first time in months that I've been able to be that close to Corey, so that's pretty exciting, pretty cool. But yeah, he's quick. It doesn't matter what you put him in, he's just quick. So he's a brilliant asset to have, and someone that can lean on and ask for a bit of support here and there. And it shows. Like again, we had all our dramas tonight, but we're still able to get the 1-2 for Send at Sim Sports, which is another great result. And yeah, we'll just keep going from there. But yeah,
No, awesome. Well, it's certainly well done from you boys, and was you locked out the podium completely at Belle Isle, and now a P1 and P2 here at Virginia. So you know, team's going good, buddy, and we look forward to seeing some great racing from you boys moving ahead as well. Now, Dylan, have you're with us there, buddy? You had a great finish there to stay in, the fuel save at the end, but there was a lot happening around you there, man.
Yeah, I think I got lucky a couple of times where I fell back down the field because of my own mistakes, and other people sort of just got together, and I managed to sneak back through. So I'll take it.
Is it just the rear of the car is just where it lights up? You know, it's so easy to get on it that little bit too hard, or?
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's the car or the setup, because I don't race these a lot, but it's really snappy. So you get it slightly wrong, and you're facing all the cars coming up behind you with no idea what happened. And then this track, because you sort of have to trail brake it, and for me it's not a car that trail brakes very well.
Yep.
It's just everything's sort of working against you here. It's very busy, very hilly, a lot of blind corners, but you got to have a lot of faith to really throw it around.
Well, your strategy played out tonight, buddy, with the fuel save at the end, got you home for P3. So let us know about the fishy sponsors. I know we've heard a fair bit about them, but there's that many of you, we can't help but end up with a fishy on the podium, eh?
Yeah, it helps when there's half the grid, doesn't it?
Exactly.
You are the top piranha tonight, buddy, so take it away.
Righto. We've got West End Motor Group is our major sponsor, which is Parramatta Peugeot Professional, Parramatta City Great Wall Haval, West End Mazda, Parramatta, and Parramatta Isuzu Ute. DC Shades, Black Wolf Graphics, and Relax Marine and Game Fishing, and Precision Sim Training. And JT has helped me a hell of a lot in every car I've driven.
No, awesome, mate. Well, it was certainly a big, eventful night from you boys. I know that go back and watch the replays and see if you can count the carnage that was out there. But it was awesome fun to watch you boys, and we certainly hope that you keep coming back and giving us this great action. So thank you.
yeah, cheers. Hopefully, the next couple of rounds we can get a few more people in and get the grid a bit bigger. But might need a drink after that one. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Awesome, boys. All right. Well, I think that will bring us to the end of our coverage of the SRW Formula 3 Series here on SRW TV. Well, as always, don't forget to hit the like button and follow us on all our socials. Hit that subscribe bell so that you get notified when we go live. On behalf of our management and broadcast team here at SRW, we have Tyson McAvoy on comms and our producer, Chef Toddy, behind the scenes. This is Cowie, your average sim racer, signing off, saying good night, and we look forward to seeing you next time on SRW TV.
Much love and keep